Hello, hello. So I promised you a series of videos on the divine, on the spiritual, on your state of soul. That is the name of my business, right? And I call it your state of soul because I realized that no true healing, no true permanent healing can happen without a connection to the divine. And if it's not permanent, then I question whether or not it's actually healing. If we're just putting a Band-Aid on something, that's not the same thing as, well, if you'll forgive me for saying, fixing it. It's not the same thing as healing. It's not the same thing as managing it. If you manage it only for a second or for a day or for a week, you're really not managing it. You're just doing something to get through whatever situation you're in. Your state of soul, and not S-O-L-E, bottom of your feet. I'm not talking about the state of mind or your state of heart or the state of the union or the state of the state. Although the state of the soul is the connective tissue that binds all that together, including S-O-L-E, soul. So, it's going to be in parts, and part one is, how do I know the divine even exists? I have been asked, does God exist? Do I believe in God? And the answer is quite emphatically, no. I don't believe in God. I know that God exists. Belief is a matter of faith. Belief is when you really can't come up with a solid empirical reason for what you believe. You just feel it in here. And we'll get to faith eventually, but right now we're talking about empirical fact. God exists, absolutely, unquestionably. I was having a conversation recently with a person I hold very dear. He taking the atheist point of view, me taking the divine, spiritual point of view, and both of us we pride ourselves on our reasoning skills, abilities. We pride ourselves on whatever grasp we have of science and of facts. And so the conversation started with, well, where do I come from? Where do you come from? From parents. And those parents from their parents, and so on and so on and so on, down through the millennia. But then what? Then we talk about evolution. We talk about the apes. We talk about perhaps fish. We talk about amoeba lives, more simple life forms. We talk about a single cell. Then where's the origin point? And my dear friend said, well, that's just the way evolution works. No. Wow, what a logical fallacy. If you're telling me that you believe in science and reason and that the human mind can figure everything out, and then you come to a point where you can't figure it out, you say, well, that's just how it works. That I don't know, but that's okay. Yeah, it's not okay. If you're using reason, to herald your existence, and then you abandon reason because you say, can't answer it. There is no answer. The answer is this is the way it is and always has been. There's got to be an origin point. And the origin point is using reason. The origin point is using the scientific method. The origin point is fact for everything. So there must be an origin point. And beyond that first cell, why did it divide? It didn't have to divide. And why, throughout the millennia, do we have this marvelous complexity in the universe? And the marvelous complexity within each universe, if I may, that is each of us. The beautiful symmetry of the human body and other living organisms, and how systems work in concert. The balance of this and that. You have matter and energy and time and gravity. And all of this has conspired to bring us where we are today. And people 500 years ago conspired to bring them where they were 500 years ago and 500 years from now. All of this works by design. And the proof of that is just think about somebody where the design goes askew. Think about someone who's lost a limb. Think about somebody who has died before his or her time. Think about someone who's developed a tumor or schizophrenia. Think about when the system goes awry. Why isn't the systems that we depend upon, gravity and atmosphere and atmospheric pressure and the beating of the heart and the working of the mind and the ability for people to work in concert and to work and develop things by piggybacking off of somebody else or working in collaboration, photosynthesis. I mean, man, I can just go on forever. None of those systems had to happen that way. It could have been the equivalent of getting a tumor or losing a limb or developing schizophrenia or something that we can't even comprehend right now. Just absolute chaos. And yet we have these systems that work so well. Why is it that we can consume food, convert it into energy, and then we can rid ourselves of the waste that is not needed, that gets in the way of the energy? Everything works so well. The fact that we can use a human mind to develop the technology to do what I'm doing right now. The camera, the computer, the internet, the lights, the clothes, lights, camera, action. It is absolutely incontrovertible fact that there is not only an author to all this. Okay, maybe authors, but not only is there an author to this, but there is a design. It is intelligent design. In fact, I'll argue even further in the next video, benevolent design. So don't come to me with this nonsense that God does not exist. Of course, God exists. I don't want these videos to go too long, so peace, 4 fingers. And I will see you soon. Inshallah, God willing.